Now here on the Markie channel, you guys already know that we like to do some revolutionary ideas. Original concepts that have never been done before. Which is why today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be looking at a Trisha Paytas video. Because that's never been done before, has it? But don't you worry, okay? It's not just any Trisha Paytas video. In fact, it's a podcast. Because that makes it really original, yeah, I'm really clutching at straws here, aren't I? Yeah, let's just be honest, we're reacting to a Trisha Paytas podcast, but it is called Exposing the DMs, so it means it's gonna get like a little bit beefy, and you guys know Callum Markey loves a little bit of beef. It's actually funny because I didn't even know that Trisha Paytas even had a podcast, and when this came up in my recommended, because when you do 84 videos on someone, they tend to come up in your recommended, but I was actually pleasantly surprised. I thought, you know what, it's a different avenue to go down, it's something new for Trisha, so I had a look, and it turns out that pretty much every single podcast on a channel is just by herself. And I don't know why I was surprised by that, because if there's someone who loves their voice enough to make a podcast by themselves, it's definitely Trisha Paytas. But I just found it funny, so I thought, what better do than to have a look in a video and we can just react together. So I apologise in advance. But before we do get into that, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that subscribed recently. We actually hit 300,000 subscribers, which was a big milestone that we were trying to hit. But to you people that haven't subscribed yet, is there something wrong with you? Do I need to get Trisha Paytas to show up at your house at 2 AM? Is that what you want? No, I didn't think so. So sort it out. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. Okay, right. Let's get into this lovely little podcast, eh?
Motherfuckers, welcome back to another...
Trisha! It's been 3 seconds and you've already swore! I want ads! The whole point of me making so many videos on Trisha is so she can pay my rent, and then this how she repays me? How dare you!
Welcome back, you guys. Today is a no-holds-bar episode because I just stopped giving any fucks. This is great.
Oh wait, you've only just stopped giving fucks? Are you sure about that? Because if everything that happened earlier in your career was a time where you did give a fuck and you did actually care, and now you're just going to start not giving a fuck, then I'm probably going to go into hiding, because Jesus Christ, the world is going to be scary.
We don't have any ads or sponsors today, so wonderful. This is slowly declining or quickly declining. We don't know.
Imagine if I started all my videos like that. Hi guys, welcome back to another Markie video. Yeah, I don't even know if I can be asked today. You see, Raid Shadow Legends said they were going to sponsor this episode, and they just didn't get back to me, so I thought, is there even any point doing this anymore? That's really jolly off you, Trisha, pal. Like, what a happy atmosphere you're creating here.
It's gonna be a little bit of a passive-aggressive podcast today. I like to be passive-aggressive in my real life.
No, you don't say, do you, Trisha? Trisha Paytas likes to be passive-aggressive? My God, I don't believe it. I mean, what are you going to tell me next? That Jeffree Star is rich? Shane Dawson used to be insensitive? Or Adam22 doesn't actually have any STDs? Because this isn't exactly shocking, Trisha.
No, but H3H3. So if you guys don't know, H3H3 is a podcast I've been on, and I ended up like trying to like fuck the girl. It's a couple that hosts a podcast. I tried to fuck their brother, and I didn't try, I did. And I kind of like caught feelings like weirdly enough, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna like use him, whatever. And then motherfucker had sent a bunch of like DMs behind my back.
Wait. Let me just get that straight, what you just said there. You just word for word said that you started fucking Hila's brother so you could start using him. You were trying to use him, and then you got annoyed when you found out he was just using you, because that makes sense. Like, I get this whole podcast is you gonna be trying to expose Moses or whatever, but I feel like you've already admitted the stuff that you've done in that relationship, that's probably worse than anything you could expose him for. I mean, a quick example, we can just have a bit of a flashback to when I reacted to one of Trisha Paytas' TikToks.
Put a finger down if they were forced you sexually. Put a finger...
I'm sorry, what did she just say?
Put a finger down if they ever forced you sexually.
Put a finger down if they've ever forced you sexually. And that's supposed to be a big joke, is it?
Honestly, Becky's first time.
Hello.
Hello. Kissy. I just wanted to let you know something very quickly.
Okay.
There's a Fortnite update and it takes an hour.
Is that what you FaceTimed me for?
So you probably should do it before I go back.
Okay, I'll do it as soon as I finish recording.
Okay, enjoy your video.
Okay, you enjoy the update. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Bambino Becky FaceTime me to tell me there's a Fortnite update, you know, priorities.
Oh God, lordy. And I forgave him once, forgive him once, cool. They do it again to you, like, fucking, you're a fool. And I'm not about to look like no fucking clown. Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, don't you worry, Trisha. I'm sure you do that enough on your own. Like, imagine the cheek of Trisha Paytas to say that she was the one that was made to look like a clown in that relationship. rape. Like, that poor soul Moses looked like he'd been kidnapped in them TikToks that you recorded, and the whole point of them TikToks were to talk about all the horrible things you had done to him, and he didn't mention anything that he had done to you. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy that he was the most horrible person in the world. But yes, Trisha, I do agree with you, okay? Sometimes you can look a bit like a clown. Don't think it was anything to do with this specific scenario.
I thought he was the bombest dick, but it's honestly because I thought he was a nice guy. So I think that's why the sex was better, because I was just like, oh, he's like a nice guy. Not my normal type, whatever. But he was a nice guy, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, you know what? I like him because he's loyal.
Like, can you actually imagine Moses going onto a podcast and saying this but the other way around? You got shy little Moses here, who's only said 3 words on YouTube in his life, and all of a sudden he's like,
you know, I was actually only with Trisha because I thought she would be the bombest pussy, but then I realised it wasn't because of that, she's just a really nice girl.
Like, I'd be listening to that and I'd be fairly shocked, but listening to it coming from Trisha Paytas, I mean, sounds a bit tame, doesn't it?
He said so specifically to me too, like, oh, I don't DM anyone. I just help people, and once I've helped them, like, I move on. There's probably so much more too, because when I asked him, we got in the most epic fight, and when I said all we have to do, because I got his phone, right, and he grabbed it from me when I went to go scroll some more, because he unsent it to this girl or whatever.
I mean, this sounds like a pretty healthy relationship, doesn't it? You grabbed his phone because he's apparently texting someone, he had to snatch it back and unsend messages. I mean, I just can't see how this relationship didn't work. Honestly, from a distance, I feel like Moses is ready to get down on one knee, because I can see this going far.
When you see the text messages and the way they talk to these girls, he would say stuff like, oh god, I wonder if they're still up. Should I read the verbiage of guys? And hey, look, I mean, there is a guy from Bumble. I can read you. I'll expose my own Bumbles at the end of this.
Oh, that makes it okay, doesn't it? You're gonna read this poor guy's private conversations out, but as long as you read out some of yours as well, then it's completely fine. You know, you can really see that Trisha Paytas has grown throughout the years. Her morals just seem to be on point.
And just for the record, we don't need to go leave any harassment. This guy's excuse was like, well, we weren't dating. Biggest insecurity is getting made to look a fool, to get made to be embarrassed. And guess what? These always come out when I post pictures of us and shit together. And I was like, really? You're gonna come meet my dad, but like, oh, you didn't. And then when I asked him, I called him.
Jesus fucking Christ. I can see why Trisha doesn't have any guests or co-hosts on this, because that woman can talk. I'm out of breath just listening to it. Never mind fucking saying it.
I was like, did you really think that like I wouldn't be hurt by that? And he's like, no. And I was like, all right, goodbye, you don't know me. And here's the thing, I kind of clinged on to this motherfucker. I was like, no, please. But the best way, guys, always the best way to get over someone, truly, because look, we weren't in love. We just weren't, you know. And people said that, people pointed out, they're like, okay, you don't care.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I'm buying that, if I'm honest, Trisha. It's been how long since this whole situation happened? Like 2-3 months, and you've just released a 50-minute podcast exposing the DMs that he's now talking to different girls. Sounds like you care quite a bit. But what do I know? Let's see these monstrous DMs, you know, the stuff that is worth exposing him over.
I got some good dick. I got some motherfucking good dick, and I'll tell you about that later.
Oh, please don't. Like, I think I speak for the majority of people in the world when we say, we don't need to know. I think we've heard Trisha Paytas talking about the people she's had sex with enough to the point where it doesn't really excite anyone anymore. It's like when you see them very tame YouTubers do these, like, say it or shot it videos, and they're all of a sudden like, oh, you know, one time I was in a nightclub and I kissed a boy, and the whole audience is like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But the only way for Trisha Paytas to get that same reaction out of people would be if she came out with something like, I don't know, she's in the mafia or something. Actually, thinking about it, if she did say that, I probably still wouldn't be that shocked.
This girl goes to him, water friend, I hope you are not going to sleep now. He goes, I'm here working on my computer. Got time to talk?
Oh, I mean, that is one sexual message. What he said there, by the way, when you take away the whole, like, trying to make it seem sexual thing was,
I'm working on my computer right now. Do you have time to talk?
really is raunchy, isn't it? Like, yes, Trisha, you can make everything seem sexual if you go really close to the mic and start whispering, and I do apologize for that. That was probably the most disgusting thing I've ever done. I'm never gonna do that ever again.
There's literally a video where he thinks he won't die, where he thinks he's water. He truly feels that he's born water. He's working on a project where he says the beginning of life is water. Motherfucker, it's fucking water. You drink it to stay alive, but you ain't it.
That, by the way, is coming from the same person who said she was a chicken nugget. Like, Trisha, it's a chicken nugget, okay? Trisha, you eat it to stay alive. You ain't it. You know, on second thought, I feel like these people are actually made for each other. They seem to be well and truly on the same wavelength.
He didn't even want to admit that his like hand was the one putting the dildo in my fucking pussy in OnlyFans.
Wait, so you're telling me that one point of this expose is that Moses didn't want people to know that it was his hand in one of the OnlyFans videos because apparently that's a really desirable job to have? Like, what do you expect the poor soul to do? Put it on his resume, highlight it in bold, go and apply for a job at an office and see the employer and be like, you see that right there? I'm experienced. Like, I don't think I would want people to know either, so I don't think he's entirely weird for that.
You know, Jason's a fucking saint. Let's clap it out for Jason because he never had this. Like, he really didn't until we broke up and then he became a fucking wild animal, whatever the fuck. Go ahead, go for it.
Wait. Are we actually listening to Trisha Paytas saying that Jason wasn't actually that bad now after releasing, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 videos saying that he was the most horrible person on planet Earth? I swear she did the same thing with David Dobrik as well, where she was like, oh, David Dobrik isn't actually that bad. In fact, Gabby Hanna's the evil one. It's almost as if, Trisha, your words don't actually hold that much weight. But what do I know, eh?
He's also said some shit before he ever met me. He used to stalk his sister's, listen to his sister's podcast. He's like their number one fan, his sister and his brother-in-law. And like, so I'd go on the podcast and he was talking shit with like other fans about me. I was like, and that was my first thing. I'm like, you just talk shit and then you're going to ask me out, which is fine. I can't hold anything against him for that. I was just fucking using him too. I was like,
so you're admitting that you were just using Moses too throughout this whole thing. So what does it matter? Where's this podcast coming from? Like, what are we exposing here? That he was just doing the same thing that you are? Is that what was deserving of a 50-minute podcast? Jesus Christ, man. Oh, she really does drill my brain. I swear to God.
I don't want her to feel like everyone fucking hates her. It's just more of like, hey, why don't you just like say sorry? Like, I did fuck up and stop trying to like defend and rationalize and give reasoning and explanation because you know what? At the end of the day, just say, I fucked up for this. I'm sorry for this.
Right, so this is a Trisha Paytas talking about Gabby Hanna. And to be fair, if you just took that clip by itself, that's pretty good advice. The only problem being is it's coming from Trisha Paytas, who's never done any of that. Like, if there's one person in the world who can't come out and say, you know, it's really easy just to take accountability and just own up to your mistakes, it's probably Trisha Paytas. Which maybe makes you think, maybe she isn't as stupid as what she tries to make out to seem. Maybe it is just a character, and to be fair, that wouldn't exactly be such a big shock. Like, I don't feel like she has to be this character if it is a character for her to do well. In fact, personally, I prefer to watch Trisha if she wasn't so, you know, twatty. Like, you don't have to make a 50-minute podcast exposing your ex's DMs that he sent to some new girl he's talking to. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? In fact, I think the last time we actually spoke about Trisha, we were actually praising her because she was talking about the whole Tati Westbrook and Jeffree Star situation, and she was actually making quite a bit of sense. So the proof's there. She can be like that. I guess she just chooses not to be. I mean, each to their own, I guess.
I remember even, let's go back, because this is Take a Shot Hour, the David Dobrik and Jason Nash mention of the podcast. We're going back to that, but when he did the Tana joke, and I found myself, after I made the video, apologizing to them, and I was like, no, you guys are the one who supported Brandon and his under-
Oh no, it turns out everything I just said there is completely irrelevant, okay? She didn't just finish off by praising Jason in his podcast. Of course she didn't. In fact, she finishes the podcast by shotting a few more digs at Jason. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, to be fair. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you thought down below, and if you did enjoy, please do leave a like on it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, thank you very much for 300,000 subscribers. I know we were kind of like digging at it quite a bit and saying like, let's try and get a 300k, but genuinely, I'm very, very pleased that we got there, so you can stop hearing me talk about it at the beginning of every video. And yeah, also I want to do some other things on this channel coming up very soon. I feel like a lot of you guys like the whole reacting to the Jubilee cancel culture video, so I'm wanting to do more stuff like that. So if that is something that you're interested in, then please let me know down below. And yeah, until next time, I guess I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, goodbye. Unbeknown, and you will see it in my eyes. Every time I drop the mic, I swear I got hypnotized.